Oh look, a week in which I lost in predictions and fantasy. Why? Grossi Posse Packer Nation. Welcome to an episode of Packcast, the podcast where you don't have to be a Packers fan, but it sure does help. I'm your host, Tom Sad Beer Grossi. Yup, that's right, drinking lots of sad beers due to the account that I'm losing in just about everything I'm touching, but at least the Green Bay Packers are straight fire. Yeah, so this past week, Things didn't go well for me in fantasy. In the first Packcast League, I lost by 4 points, 93 to 97, and I'm currently in fourth place, so we're still in the running for the playoffs. And in the second Packcast League, I also lost by 4 points, 122 to 126 to Adam, and dropped down to sixth place, just out of playoff contention. But don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. I will be making a comeback. And so what we'll be doing, of course, if you're new to Fantasy Studs and Duds, which you probably aren't, because this by far is the least watched weekly episodic video that's put out. But it's okay. It's because I love you. We're going to pick the three studs, a sleeper, and the three duds of the week. So with that, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. Looking at our first stud, he was on the list last week as a stud, and he remains on it this week, and that is Chicago Bears running back David Montgomery. Had a great week when they actually utilized him last week against the Chargers. He got in for a touchdown, ran for over 100 yards, good things all around. Facing a Eagles defense, which is very far from impressive, and you know, with the confidence in Mitch Trubisky just waning and waning and waning, I feel like they'll rely on David Montgomery a lot, considering that, you know, Tariq Cohen, they're not doing anything with him. So David Montgomery is the feature back there. It's just a matter of how much they're going to use him. I think he'll be able to put up double-digit points for you this week. Then, moving on, sticking with the running back, we got Mr. Leonard Fournette versus the Texans. Fournette had a pretty good game last week against the Jets, and with the Texans losing J.J. Watt, I think they're going to definitely be utilizing the run game a bit. Again, Leonard Fournette, if you drafted him with the prospect of, oh my God, he's going to be a RB1, he's going to be amazing this year, he hasn't really panned out for that. But for this week, I think he's a pretty safe pick going against that depleted Texans team, though it might erupt into a shootout rather quickly, so have some caution there. Then, number 3, we got tight end Evan Engram from the New York Giants going up against the Cowboys. Engram enjoyed himself a touchdown in the shootout against Detroit last week. I have a feeling that this game is also going to be a shootout, and considering that they're playing at home, you know, maybe they'll get a little advantage on Monday night underneath all the lights. But Engram is obviously one of the main targets for Daniel Jones, and I think they'll continue to use him. And so if you're tight end, this week, I would feel pretty confident starting them. Then, moving on to our sleeper pick of the week. We have Derek Carr from the Oakland Raiders going up against the Lions. Carr should have himself a pretty damn good game. The Raiders have been doing sneakily well. They put up a bunch of points and almost beat the Texans last week. And, you know, with the Lions, it could just wind up being a shootout just like the Giants game was. Regardless of whether the Raiders win or not is completely irrelevant. This is for fantasy points. And Derek Carr is sitting free in a lot of leagues right now. So if you need a quarterback, think about picking him up. Then we have our duds. Now, the first dud is the brand spanking new running back for the Arizona Cardinals, and that's Kenyan Drake. Yes. Even though he's basically the only running back left standing, they're going against the 49ers, who have been pretty damn good stopping the run and stopping just about everything on that defense. And considering that he's just getting to the team, it's on a short week, on a Thursday game against the 49ers, I got a feeling that this is probably not going to end up well. And if you're really in a bind, I understand maybe starting him, but don't expect a whole lot there. Then moving on to the number 2. dud of the week, and that's actually the Patriots defense. The Patriots defense, who has been phenomenal for every single fantasy owner who was smart enough or lucky enough to pick them in the draft or in free agency, going up against the Ravens, who I think are going to be putting up a bunch of points. And so while they may get some points on some turnovers, what have you, I think this is going to be a relatively high-scoring game. And because of that, I think that's going to at least bring down the value pretty significantly for the Patriots. But who knows? The Browns beat the Ravens, so this is just a guess at this point. Then, finally, another running back. We have Damian Williams, the Kansas City Chiefs running back, going up against the Vikings. Not only is the Vikings defense pretty good on some days, but Damian Williams, really, they have not sorted out that backfield. Even if Matt Moore is the leading quarterback, they didn't rely on him a whole lot against the Packers. While he was able to scoot in for a score, it really wasn't, they weren't relying on him a whole lot. They'll be looking at guys like Travis Kelce and with a Tyreek Hill, what have you. I think they'll be utilizing the passing game a whole lot. But tough defense, not really relying on them, and even if they do, it's running back by committee. I would be weary in starting Damian Williams. But that's my studs and my duds for the week. How are you doing in your fantasy leagues? If you're playing against me, you're probably doing pretty well. Misery. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. You can always find me at TomGrossiComedy.com or at TomGrossiComedy. All social media is seen down below. Check out Petcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course the YouTube. And a big shout out and thank you to all the Patreon members over at patreon.com/TomGrossiComedy. But thank you so much for watching. We'll have some more vids for you tomorrow. I'm Tom Grossi. And as always, go Pack Go.